Decision time on your patch. What are you going to do now? Now we got the one coat of quickset over the tape, another coat over that up to here. Now if you see any grooves in here, what you can do is put another coat of quickset on here and make this a little bit smoother if you feel like it. Or here's something else to think about. This patch is pretty big, so overall, once we patch this all the way, we're going to build over to about here, and we're going to build this over to about here. Okay, same thing here. We're going to come in there, and we're going to bring that over into there. So there's hardly going to be, not much that's going to be in the middle. But this middle area, because it's a smallish patch, but bigger than just a patch, a hole in the ceiling, you know, just one little hole where you patch the entire little thing. We've got to figure out what to do with this. You want to finish this off all the way around like that and have this dip down a little bit. You're probably never going to see it, but to make this patch look better, you might want to fill this area in because you're only going to have this much left. Okay? Because we've already built this out to cover the tape, right? That tape sticks down further than this. So this is going to taper to there and so forth all the way around. So we're going to have a little bit of a low spot. So what can you do about that? Well, you can take the quickset and you could fill up the middle with quickset before you put on the all-purpose joint compound. If you put the all-purpose joint compound on right now, and you could cover this whole thing then, or you could just finish off like what I was saying, okay? Or you can put all-purpose all the way through this entire patch. But depending how deep this is and how good you were, this could shrink in, so then you're probably gonna have to put another coat over that. Okay, so there's a few different ways to do it. Is there a right or wrong way? Probably not. What am I going to do? At this point, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to fill this area in with quickset material. Okay? I have no idea also when they're going to paint this ceiling, and until then I don't want this to show, and plus it's going to make this whole patch smooth all the way to the outside. This is where it's going to taper in, just on the outside, not on the inside, because this is going to be all filled in. You follow? Alright, I guess I better start mixing up some more mud. Okay, so I'm going to fill up more mud here. I've got my 6-inch knife, and man, that would take me quite a while, you know, to do just with this. Let's just try it out here, see what's going to happen. If this is all you had, let's say. So you're going to have to be really good to use just a 6-inch knife to fill this in. You'd have to do it a couple coats, but I'm going to try something different. I'm going to try a 12-inch. This is still a broad knife, and see, it looks a little bit different, and the same type of thing. I can hold my finger in the middle, to the right, off to the left a little bit. I'm going to try and see what happens. I'm borrowing somebody's, and usually I use a 10-inch. This is a 12, and I'm going to coat the whole thing It's a little bit different to use than a 6-inch knife because it's a little bit bigger. All right? And once you get the hang of it, it goes on a lot at a time. See there? I just got to move this along. And with the quickset, I could only mix up so much at a time. I may have to mix up a few containers of this, a few pans, but that's okay. If this patch was any much bigger than this, I wouldn't be floating it all the way out. Okay? I still can only mess with it for so long until that dries. Then I can decide if I'm going to put a little bit more quickset on there or not. Or maybe at that point I'll put the joint compound all-purpose. Okay. Want to concentrate. You can put a little bit of this up first, like so, and then come back. Now see, I missed some down there. I pulled my ladder too far, didn't I? There. Okay. And I like to pull this instead of this way, but you know, sometimes you're just going to have to try different ways. Maybe you're better one way than the other. You can't always do it this way. I'm making it out a little bit bigger. Wiping the edges off as I go. Just start using these big knives. This is a broad knife, 12-inch. Put a lot more material on at any one time. It's easier to smooth it all out. Okay, light touch down the middle. I start from out here and then I can bring it in. That way I don't give a line right here. Okay? Alright, so that's how I'm going to keep doing this patch here. You see how that's going to fill up this middle area a little bit better because this patch was as big as it was. Kind of in between steps on the ladder there. At this point, I might as well try to use most of the material I have in my pan, but at some point I'm only going to get so much on the wall, on the ceiling now, right? Okay, time to mix up some more. Keep her going. You can do it. Wow, that patch is looking really good now. See how that looks like a full, just one big, huge, massive patch because we're filling in the middle. Still working on the quickset, trying to finish that up. When you're trying to put a lot on, you gotta kind of hold this up tight, not tight all the way, but up enough because it wants to drag to the bottom of your blade. That's why you got to pull it off, grab some more down at the bottom, and try to get it on there. Okay, so you can put about that much on there. Then you can you can start pulling some of it off, just gently, because we're filling it up, and then you don't want to take too much off, okay? We're making it smooth. See, when you get to the edge over here, you're going to get some on the edge. And I start in the middle here, flat. Now over here, I'm going to push more pressure on the outside, and that cleans up the edge, and this other side here floats. Okay? That's how you do it. See, this patch is a lot bigger than the 4x4 approximate piece of sheetrock that I put up there. You have no idea where the end of that sheetrock ends now, do you? That's the point. You don't want anybody else to see that either. Okay, so I can just load up some extra on here before pulling it off if I want. You know, now go back, wipe off your blade after each pull. That. Take a look at it, see if there's any other spots that need to be done. You know, I'm going to resituate my ladder here. I can't work directly above my head. You'll figure out where the good location is for your ladder and stuff. Wiping off my edges. Now see, I'm going to have more pressure on the right hand side. Right down the middle, more pressure on the right to wipe off the edge, see? If I have just a little bit of a line right there, instead of hitting it in the middle, I want to come in from the outside. Okay, here's another spot. I can come in. Well, that one's too far. That I'm just going to have to kind of gently do. But if it's close, come in from the outside. Okay. Now it looks like there's a line right there. And I like to try to keep both sides of my blade cleaned off periodically in case I need to go the other way, or so that some on the back doesn't drag on my good material. Okay? Wow, that's looking good.
One spot right up there.
One spot, huh? Where? Over there?
This one, right there.
Right there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Good thing we got Eagle Eye Eddie here. Right there.
Further over.
Oh, right there.
Over that way along, over that way.
Okay, I see it. Now see, with this material, because it's quickset, you can get it pretty close, but you don't have to be perfect on this pass. You know, we're still going to put a coat of all-purpose mud over this. And so, once you get to a certain point and you go over it and it starts drying, you don't want to put too much more on it. Or else you just start playing with it and you're like, okay, where do I end? You know? Knowing that the next go around with the all-purpose is going to cover this now. Okay, so I'm gonna let that dry, and then I'll lightly scrape down any little high edges before I get into the all-purpose mud. Got to let this dry a little bit. Because this is a thin layer and it's quickset, it's not going to take that long to dry. In fact, I've already done a little patch right up here, and I did that before I started that big patch. See right up in there? That one there, I'm ready to start that one with my all-purpose joint compound. Ready to take a look? Stick around.